Hello, hello. So my name is Vanessa Rowe, and I am the director of the Social Butterflies. I've gotten to know bingo parties really well over these past several months since we entered into quarantine. That's actually what helped my business completely relaunch and just really made a big difference. And bingo parties are super authentic to me. I am a rather high energy person, and Facebook parties for me did not work whatsoever. So as soon as I heard about bingo parties, I was like, oh, this is something I could try out. I can express my energy and have a lot of fun with it. My customers can have a lot of fun with it, and it could be super awesome. So bingo parties are what I tried out. I added a little tweak, of course, of my own to how I do bingo parties compared to how others. And I've had several requests for me to do a live training on how to do them. So here we are. And again, if you have any questions, hold on to them because chances are I'm going to cover it. If I don't, feel free to comment on this YouTube video and I will do my very best to get back to you. But let's go ahead and get started. So bingo parties for me are super similar to like a traditional Facebook party. So basically how it works is my whole point of doing the bingo parties, especially with everything going on with COVID, was that I wanted to make this like a Facebook party, but way more fun and engaging because honestly, all that we're all looking for right now is a distraction from everything going on in our outside world because everything's just crazy. We're all stressed, and that's what I wanted. So I took the idea of a Facebook party where you take posts about Scentsy stuff, we're talking about products and everything else, and I wanted to sandwich each post in between a participation post. So something fun. I do change these up regularly. So I make them kind of seasonal. So whatever's going on. So like last month I did Thanksgiving ones, like tell me your top 3 favorite Thanksgiving dishes, tell me something you're thankful for, whatever. For Christmas this year, I did lots of Christmassy ones, like what's your favorite Christmas movie? Do you prefer white lights or multicolored? All sorts of stuff. And it doesn't have to have anything to do with Scentsy at all. They're just participation points, participation posts so that people can get party points. Now, each of these points are going to equate into bingo numbers. Now, when I play bingo, my people do not need anything besides a piece of paper, a pen, and their phone. Super simple, super easy. So they don't need bingo cards or anything else. And don't worry, I'll explain it all. So every point that they get is going to turn into a bingo number. So every time they comment on something, they'll get a point. And that point is a bingo number to help them get it. Obviously, the more bingo numbers you have, the better, so the more they want to participate. So how that works is I just do my posting. So I have a VIZZLIE template available, and I should have written that down. So I have a VIZZLIE template available that I can share in the comments below. But it is a template that you can use. All you have to do is change up a few of the posts, very minimalistically, just I think it's like 3 posts that you'll change out. And then you could take the template. It does all of the posting for you. And then you can just go ahead and use that. And then all you do is you do your posting. So I always start my bingo parties on a Thursday. This is just personally what works for me. So I start the posts on Thursday with my VIZZLIE template. I always do my live bingos on a Sunday. Now, the reason why I do bingo on Sunday is because it works for me and my schedule, but it usually works for a lot of other people's schedule too. Because on a Sunday night, during quarantine or during COVID, chances are nobody's doing anything. So Sunday night, anywhere between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock is when I'll do bingo. I always ask my hostess which time they prefer, and obviously I make sure that that date and time works for them. So that's when I do bingo, and I set this up as a Facebook group. The reason why I do it as a group is because it just is so much easier. I've noticed recently that Facebook has been having a lot of issues with their events, and when someone posts an event, it's hard to see the notifications, it doesn't pull up correctly, so I always do it as a group. The other reason why I always do it as a group is that if you happen to flip your hostess, so say your hostess does a bingo party, everything goes really well, you offer them the join opportunity and they join, if it's a group, you can just change the name of it, change the profile picture, and there's their VIP page. So that's super awesome. So that's why I always do it as a group. But basically, you do all the posting in there, and then you just do a Facebook Live. So you, like the consultant, is the only person that's on this live. You don't you could do it as a Zoom, but I don't, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to put makeup on. I don't want to put real clothes on. I'm perfectly comfortable in my jams, and that's all I want to worry about. So I set it up as a Facebook Live. Now, how I do this is I put music on in the background. I am no good at singing or dancing, but for me, it's authentic. I love singing and dancing. I like having a good time. I like having fun. And the more fun that I have with bingo, the more fun my customer and their guests are going to have at bingo as well. So I always put on a Facebook Live. I always put on music in the background. Now, you have to be super cautious about the copyright with Facebook. They're super funny. If you have music playing in the background and the music is owned by, I think by Sony, it will literally block out your Facebook Live. It'll cancel it. It just causes all sorts of problems. I have found that if you use the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Awesome Mix soundtrack, I use it through Spotify. I just tell my Google Home and I'll be like, hey Google, play Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 mixtape.
Playing the album Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Awesome Mix Volume 2 on Spotify.
And here we go. And that's exactly how I start my bingos. And it plays through music. And you just go through, and I kind of sing and I dance and I have a good time. And I've noticed that this specific playlist does not trigger any of the copyrights. Hey Google, stop. So that is super exciting. The way that I have this set up is I just do this straight from my phone. So I use my phone for the Facebook Live. I have a ring light behind me. I have my Google Home right next to my desk. And that's how I get everything started. So what I do is I play bingo. So this, I'm going to explain the rules to you first because I think this is going to be the easiest way to go about it. Where are my bingo numbers? That's a great question. I'm totally my office is a train wreck right now, as everyone can probably relate. Anyways, so what I do, and this is super simple, guys. This will cost you less than $1. You take note cards. You cut them in half. This is just a note card. You cut it in half and you write numbers 1 to 100 on it, okay? And then you pull numbers. So say, for example, okay, let me rewind a little bit. So remember how I said that everyone gets points for participating, and those points turn into bingo numbers. So what you want to do is you want to get as many bingo numbers as possible. And instead of having B13 or whatever that is, instead, we just use plain numbers. So, for example, if you earned 15 points through the party, that means that you get 15 numbers for bingo. And you're going to pick 15 numbers between 1 and 100. And what they're going to do is, I always tell my guests, I'm like, hey, all you need is a pen, you need a piece of paper, and your phone. That's all that you need. So, and I'll tell them about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes before our live bingo, how many points everyone has. And all I do is I just go back through the Facebook group and I add up everyone's points. Every post that they comment on, they get 1 point. So then whoever has however many points, I write it down on a piece of paper. I make a post on Facebook anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes before the party starts, telling everyone how many numbers they have. Now, you'll notice that people that have already played bingo know what to do. They're experts. If you can, every once in a while, I'll just ask someone in my team or one of my VIPs if they can play bingo with me on one of my parties or whatever it is. And that way, it's just really nice to have someone that already knows what they're doing so they can kind of help you explain things. So then what they do is, so they write their numbers on a piece of paper. So if they have 15 numbers, they'll write 1 to 100, 15 numbers that fall between those two numbers on their piece of paper. I then have them comment it in the comment section of the live video. Now, the way that this works is that you have 1, 2, or 3 numbers called. You're gonna hit the heart emoji each time. I have my customers use the reactions button. So when you're in a Facebook Live, there's the comment bar. To the right of the comment bar are little reactions. There's a thumbs up, there's a heart, there's a wow face, there's a whole bunch of faces. So anyways, I have them use the reactions instead of commenting, because if you have someone that comments too much in a Facebook Live, they can get thrown into Facebook jail. It's a whole thing, and then they can't comment anymore. They can't play bingo. Trust me, guys, this is something I've already dealt with. So I have them use reactions. So if they have their numbers written down in front of them. If they have 1, 2, or 3 numbers called, each time they're gonna hit the heart reaction. And I go over these rules at least 5 times before we actually play bingo. So as we wait for people to hop on, I'll explain it. I'll explain it again and again and again. While we're playing through the first round, I again explain it another 2 to 3 times because, guys, eventually people are like, oh, okay, I get it. So if they have 1, 2, or 3 numbers, they hit the heart reaction each time. If they have 4 numbers, they're gonna hit the wow reaction. And this is literally how I explain it, guys. I say, okay, if you have 1, 2, or 3 numbers, I need you to hit the heart reaction each time. So just so I can make sure that everybody knows what I'm talking about, I need you to go next to your comment bar, there's a little heart. Hit the heart button a bunch of times so that I can see you know what I'm talking about. All right, guys, now if you're ready, I'm gonna call, when you have 4 of your numbers called, you're gonna hit the wow emoji. So that's just by the hearts, but it's the wow guy, and it looks like this. Ah! And he's super excited. So when you have 4 of your numbers called and you're super excited, hit the wow button so that I know you have 4 of your numbers called. And when you have 5 of your numbers called, that means that you have bingo. So when you have 5 numbers called, it's super important that you comment bingo in all caps so that I can see it. Now, the next thing I tell my customers is that I am on a lag. So no matter what you do, no matter how great or how bad your internet connection is, you will always be on a lag in Facebook Live videos. It's just how it is. So your customer will comment bingo and you won't see it for another like 30 seconds to a minute because that's just how Facebook is. So I explain this to them and I go over those rules and I say, okay, if you have 5 numbers, comment bingo. But if I don't react right away, that's because I'm on a lag because, Facebook's dumb. We all know this. And I just tell them, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be on a lag. Do not worry. I will still see your comment. I just am going to be on a lag. So if I don't react right away, that's why. I always pick my bingo winner. So whoever comments first on my end, so whoever I see as the first commenter is going to be the one to win that round of bingo. I do 3 rounds of bingo. So we do the first round and then I take a break after that and I go over some products. So this is when I'm showing them how to do things. We go into round number 2. So as we go into round number 2, I say, if you are still with me, I want you to pick 1 extra number, write it on your piece of paper, and comment it below. This kind of helps the other 2 rounds go a little bit more quickly. It gives them incentive to keep playing through the next 2 rounds, and that's just what I have found to work. So after I wrap up what I'm talking about, product-wise, I then say, if you are still with me, I want you to pick 1 extra number. Write your number on a piece of paper, comment it down below, and we will go ahead and get started after I see that everyone has commented their numbers. So when you are in a Facebook Live, you'll see right in this upper corner that how many number of people are on. So say, for example, you have 8 people on, and I say, okay, we'll get started as soon as I have everyone's numbers. Once I have 8 of those people comment, we'll go ahead and get started in the next round. So you keep the same numbers that you had from round number 1 for the second round of bingo. So it is super easy for you guys. You just start over. So nobody has any numbers. They keep the same numbers. They have their 1 extra number if they played round number 1 already, and you go ahead and get started. Now, another question that I hear all the time is someone asks me, well, Vanessa, what if a customer hops on late? So if I notice that somebody hops on in the middle of round 1 or in the middle of round 2 or while I'm going over products, I will pause what I'm doing and I'll say, hey, I'm super excited you're hopping on. If anyone is hopping on and you did not start this round, don't go anywhere. Stay where you're at. You could hop onto our next round as soon as we get started. So I just encourage them to stay and play and hang out. And then I have them give me their numbers. So say, for example, if they had 10 numbers, I have them comment their 10 numbers at the beginning of round number 2. And they comment their numbers, they write them on a piece of paper, and we go ahead and get started. So that's how we handle that. In between rounds 2 and 3, again, I go over products, and then we play round number 3. By the end of round number 3, I will have 3 winners. So there's 1 winner for each round, and each of the winners, I just send them a scent circle. So I literally just take a scent circle, and on the white part of it, I just write, congratulations on winning bingo, you helped, and then I'll throw in like the host reward. So say, for example, my host name is Sarah, and Sarah earned $75 in free product and 3 half-off items. So I'll say, thank you, congratulations on winning bingo. You helped Sarah earn $75 in free products and 3 half-off items by hosting her bingo. Something as simple as that. Handwrite it on there, throw it in an envelope with 1 stamp, and it sends right away. So cost cost effective and super awesome. So the next thing I want to talk about is in between, so while I call numbers, so this is the part that gets a little awkward for people. So you're calling numbers and you want to make sure you have a good pace while you call numbers. You don't want to go too fast because then your customers are scrambling to keep up. You don't want to go too slow because then people are going to get bored and they're going to hop off and they won't want to play. So the music helps keep that engaging. Another great thing that you can do is in between each number, so I'll say, okay, our next number is 97, and our scent to go along with that, and I'll keep my testers nearby, and I'll say, we have Pretty and Plaid. So this is a scent. It's one of our pine scents, and it's also available in our brick for $24 this season. And then I'll call another number. I'll be like, your next number is number 74. And our next scent is Silver Bell. So this one is one of my cousin's all-time favorites. I always think of her when I have this smell. It's nice and light. It's perfect for wintertime. Oh, please ignore my ring light. This thing is horrible. It goes off all the time, and all of my friends know that it's just obnoxious. But then you just go through the scent. So with every time you call a number, you go through your fragrances. Now talk about them. If you love a scent, tell them you love it. If you're not so crazy about it, to mention someone who does love it, or just tell them you don't love it. But definitely go into details because this is what helps people decide what scents they want to go through. So you keep calling numbers until someone gets a bingo. And once someone gets a bingo, that ends the round, right? Let's see. Okay, so in between the rounds of bingo is when I talk about products. Now, mind you, I have been a consultant for 7 years, literally 7 years, guys. So what that means is that I have tons of stuff. My business is also large enough that I can afford to do things like buy a display and have all this stuff. You do not have to have all of the things in order to have a successful bingo. You don't have to have a display. You don't have to have all the crazy products. You don't have to have anything. Use what you have and work with it, because chances are you have a warmer. Chances are you have some testers. So if that's all you have, then that's all you go over, and there's no worries at all. When I first started doing bingos, guys, I did not have this display, and I just walked around my house and showed people Scentsy. And I said, this is how I use Scentsy in my house. And I walked them through my bathroom and my living room and my kitchen and all the things. So I showed them all of my products. And I always started off with talking about warmers and wax. Now, when I talk about warmers and wax, I always dip my finger in the wax. And I just explain things to them, and I say, these are our warmers and wax. This is the first product that Scentsy started off selling. And it is a product that is safe, that I feel safe and comfortable using around my loved ones. And you should feel safe and comfortable using them around your loved ones too. Our light bulbs only get hot enough to melt the wax. They're safe to leave on 24/7, and you'll never encounter any burns from the wax itself. So if you happen to have a waxident, no worries. And then I talk to them about our wax, and I say, well, our wax is food grade. So if you happen to have a kid or a dog or any sort of loved one decide to eat the wax, no worries at all. Again, it'll just pass. It's food grade, so it's just like the wax that's on an apple. And I just walk them through my house. And I go, okay, let's go to my bathroom. And I'm like, okay, cool. Here is my mini warmer. So this is one of the warmer options we have. It's small and it sits on the wall itself, and I'll just show them. I'll show them how you can turn the base if you have a goofy outlet. I'll walk them into my living room and show them my seasonal setup, because I always have a seasonal setup going on. So they're like, okay, cool. This is what I have right here. Here's another one of my warmers. Here's yet another one of my warmers, because I love Scentsy. And what is going to be a big difference, guys, is that people need to see how you use Scentsy in your life and how it makes a difference for you. Because if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for them. And if you believe and use the products, why wouldn't they, right? So that's what I do. Between round 1 and 2, I just talk about warmers and wax. And then I'll go through my display and I'll show them the Cause product. I'll show them our warmer of the month. I'll show them other warmers that we have. And then I start round 2. Sorry, guys, I need a drink. Almost 20 minutes of talking through, my goodness. So then, between rounds 2 and 3, I go over the non-wax and warmers products. So maybe I'll talk about the diffuser, I'll talk about our spa products, I'll talk about our laundry products, I'll talk about the cleaning products, I'll talk about the fan products, the small spaces products, all sorts of things. Just show them whatever you have. Show them what you're passionate about. Show them what you love. And the most important thing is if you have something that's non-wax and warmers, definitely show them, because chances are they don't know about it. A lot of people don't know that we sell Scentsy soap and that we have cleaning products and laundry products and dog products and you name it. I'm sure people are excited to know about it. So talk about the products, use what you have. You don't have to have it all, guys, I promise. Now, the other thing is that I require a minimum of 5 people to show up for my bingo. And I tell them this day of bingo, I say, hey, who's planning on hopping on bingo tonight? I need to have a minimum of 5 people to play bingo this evening. Now, the reason why I do this is because if you have less than 5 people, it gets kind of awkward. It gets really long. And your time is valuable. It really is. So if I have less than 5 people joining bingo, chances are the party's not going to hit the minimum, and there's not going to be very many people playing bingo itself outside of the host, and maybe 1 to 2 people. So I won't play bingo. Simple as that. It's not worth my time, and I don't want to spend 45 minutes to an hour playing bingo with 3 people. So I tell them, hey, I have to have a minimum of 5 people to hop on bingo tonight. So what I'll do is that, and I'll have people comment like, oh, I can't wait to hop on. I'm super excited. And then I'll reach out to the hostess and let her know, hey, just so you know, I have to have 5 people minimum to play bingo tonight. So if you happen to know of anyone that for sure wants to play, just let me know and we'll make sure that they hop on. Again, I explain the rules like a million times. So I'll explain the rules like 3 times before we even get started, because people are going to hear the rules and then more people are going to hop on. So you need to explain the rules again, and then more people will hop on, and then you'll explain the rules again. So then after you have everyone's numbers, you go ahead and get started. I never wait more than 5 minutes to let people hop on. If it's more than 5 minutes, chances are more people are not going to hop on. So that is a huge thing. Okay, so the other thing that I do is I message people the day of bingo. And again, I can post that in the comments here, but it's this longer message that just explains how to play bingo, how to place an order, and just invites them to play bingo. And then after I send everybody the messages, I post in the Facebook group and say, hey, run to your inbox. If we're not friends on Facebook, chances are the messages went to your others folder. So make sure you check there too. It just kind of gives people a little reminder to like, hey, check your messages. And I've noticed that as I send out these messages with instructions on how to play and instructions on how to order, the orders start piling in. Because of course, this is still a party. Yes, you're taking time to do bingo. Yes, it's fun, but you still want PRV out of this, right? The other thing that I wanted to talk about is staying in compliance. So this was something that's newer. It's not newer, but it kind of really came to light as we started doing bingo parties, is this pay to play. So you cannot, under any circumstances, give away points for someone placing an order, because that would be considered pay to play. So the way that they can accumulate points, you can give them points for participating. You can give them points for showing up to bingo. You can give them points for joining your VIP page. You can give them points for hosting their own party, but you cannot give them points for placing an order. So please, please, please be very cautious of that. You also cannot tell them what the prize is. So you can tell them, I'm going to send you guys something special in the mail. You cannot say what it is. Even if it's samples, it doesn't matter what it is. You cannot say what it is. Okay, so when I go through the first round of bingo, I always introduce myself and I talk to them like, and I'll just explain it to you really quick. So I'll do mine. So for example, I'll be like, oh, like my name is Vanessa Rowe. I am a director with Scentsy, and I'll talk about how long I've been selling Scentsy. So I've been with Scentsy almost 7 years as of this upcoming May. I absolutely love the products. I started selling because I was buying way too much stuff, and this way I get a discount on my own obsession. And then I'll talk about the traveling. So that's why I started selling Scentsy. But, and in between, while I'm talking about these, I'll pull numbers. But your next number is number 97. I keep selling Scentsy for many other reasons other than my own obsession. I've actually been able to do a ton of traveling with Scentsy. I'll pull another number. Your next number is 65. I've been pretty much all over the U.S. We've gone to Kansas City, Nashville, Vegas. I've been to both Disney World and Disneyland. I actually went to Disney World for totally free because of our incentive trip where Scentsy pays for everything, which is super awesome. And I'll pull another number. Your next number is 73. And recently, the most recent trip that I earned was our trip. It was a 7-day, 7-night stay through the Caribbean cruise. I took my boyfriend, and literally, guys, it was so amazing, like super awesome. So if you guys can see this butterfly back here, my best friend actually had that made for me, and it has tons of pictures through our Scentsy travels, different Scentsy events. But really, it's just a reason to travel, and I also love that. Now I'll call another number. Next number is 25. And I'll keep talking about Scentsy stuff and why I love it. And it just kind of like gives them an idea. And I always talk about how much Scentsy loves on us consultants and the customers. I say, you know what? This is a company that treats us really well, but you guys are their number one main priority. They care about customers more than anything else. Like if you guys, will not ever have to take care of their customer service because us consultants will do it for you. But everything that they do it with you in mind. They want things to be easy for you. They want you to make sure you love the products. And it's just a huge thing. So please know that when you're buying from Scentsy, you're supporting a small business, which would be me, which I appreciate. But you're also supporting a company that truly cares. They care about giving back. They want to give more than they take. They take care of their consultants. They take care of the customers. And it's just really an amazing company to work for. So I always make sure to throw that in while I'm going through the numbers in round number 1. Round number 2, I just kind of ask them like, hey, like, what are you drinking tonight, guys? I'll just ask little interactive questions as we go through numbers just to kind of keep things fun. I'll do a little dancing, little singing, which we all don't want to hear, but I do it anyways. And then we go over more products after round number 2. And then as we go into round number 3, this is when I really focus on booking more parties. Now, if you're having fun, your customers are having fun. And if someone has really a ton of fun at bingo, they're going to want to host their own bingo party because they want to experience this with their own friends. So this is when I really talk about that. I use my perpetual party reward and I give it to my hostess if someone from their party books another party off of it. So say, for example, Sarah's hosting a party and her friend Jill wants to host a party. Then Sarah is going to get the perpetual party reward, which is just an extra half off item that comes with any order over 200 PRV. So it's completely free to you and you can give it away. So no cost at all, and it's going to give you extra bookings. So what I do when I go through and I'm going and talking through my round number 3, I'm like, hey, you know what, guys? I just really appreciate that you're playing bingo with us tonight. Like, thank you for taking time out of your day. I hope you're having a ton of fun so far. But I wanted to talk to you about something really quick. And I'll call another number. And then I'll be like, so if you love Sarah, like love Sarah, like we all love Sarah. We think she's great. She's so funny. And like, if you know her, you can like say something about her. Be like, if you really love Sarah, you can actually help her get an extra reward from me, completely free. So if you are interested in helping out Sarah, you know, because we all love her, then if you are willing to host your own bingo party or a different type of party through me, then you help Sarah get an extra reward. So for example, Sarah's gonna get an extra reward if you decide to do your own bingo party or a different type of party with your own friends. As we all know, everything is hard right now. The season is heavy, the holidays are hard, COVID is hard, we're all kind of sick of it, we're all craving connection. So what better way for you and your friends to have a nice little distraction than playing bingo for a night, right? I mean, what are we doing on a Sunday evening anyways? We're all sitting at home in our jams, probably drinking wine, and why not play some bingo? So they have a chance to win some prizes from me. You are going to get half off and free products as long as your party hits our qualifying minimum, and we all play bingo. So it's a super fun option. If you're interested, please let me know, and we will go ahead and get one set up so that you can help Sarah get that extra reward. So I always make sure to mention if you love your hostess, because guess what? If they're hanging out here and they're going to the party and they're ordering and they're playing bingo, chances are that they love the hostess, right? If my friend Cassandra was doing a party, I'd be like, oh my God, girl, yes, I am there. I will buy for you. I love you. I will do anything you ask me to. Absolutely. And the chances are the hostess's friends feel the same way. So if someone's like, oh, if you host a party to help Sarah, she gets an extra half off item. I'm like, yes, girl, sign me up. I love her. I'm here for her. I will support her in any way that I possibly can. Do not mind my ring light. It is horrible. I need to contact Amazon and be like, hey guys, what's up? Why is this not working? Anyways, so that's what I focus on. Now, let me tell you, when I revamped my business recently. So I've been a consultant for almost 7 years, and I did not always do great. And this year, starting in April, I have consistently sold over 2,000 PRV every single month. I've had a minimum of 2 to 6. I've had 2 to 6 parties every single month since then. I have had bookings on bookings. I have had 11 people join my team since then. Guys, it is absolutely crazy what happened. And all of it happened because of my focus on parties. Now, the reason why parties are so important is because it's going to give you new customers. It's going to give you instant PRV. And every single time you have a party, you should ask your hostess to join. Every single time. Every single time, ask them, hey, would you be interested in flipping your party? We can give you all of the commission and orders from this party, and you get to join as a consultant. If they have a $500 party, 500 PRV, then they get a free kit with that $75 worth of host credit. How amazing is that? So every time I have a party, I ask every single time. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, sometimes they want more information. But if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So bingo parties have been a huge success for me. They've been super awesome. I very much enjoy them. And that's just kind of how we play. So I go through, I play music in the background, I call numbers, people use their reactions, they comment bingo, they get really competitive and have a lot of fun together. So it's fun, it's interactive, and then people want to place orders either right before or afterwards because they're seeing all these products. Now, after the party, I do very light posting just to kind of remind them like, hey, we're closing our party out in 2 days. Again, I will comment below with my VIZZLIE link for the template that you can use. Feel free to take it. Again, I will also make sure that I add in the message that I sent to the customers the day of the bingo party. And if there's anything else you have questions about or I didn't cover, please, please, please let me know. But thank you for watching, guys, because when you watch stuff like this, you show up, and when you show up, you go up. So that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and let's go kill 2021, guys.